Alright guys, welcome back to Taptap Hero Holy Moly. So my name is Kuden. Today is not going to be a fun day for you guys, but it's more like an education. So hopefully everyone will enjoy and like this. I have a subscriber and he requests for me to explain all the skills, attack, defense, and XP and speed, and why are they important. And when you play peak, which one should you pick? Then it's going to help you to be extremely, if you understand this, it's going to be explain everything, and it's going to make the game extremely easy. So I do ask question on Facebook. So if you on the forum, and if you see that, please don't, if you want to add something, let me know. If whatever I said today is not completely true, just fix me, because I am still learning and I'm here to help. So I be personally tell you one thing: I don't play games before. Taptap Hero is my first game ever, and my problem is I'm very patient and I do a lot of research. So I just want to give you guys tips and tricks, and I don't mind sharing. Okay, so let's go straight to education. Okay, so number one, do you guys need to know anything about attack, defense, and XP and speed? Those are very convenient. Those are very easy to understand. Attack, that means you do damage, and that's it. Defense is something is very confusing right now, and I'm pretty sure no one know how the games calculate. For example, if you have defense at 7, what does that mean? What does it mean compared to all the hero? For example, let's take a look into galleries, and I'm gonna take Grant at level 100. He have a 19 defense. What does that mean? Well, we don't know. We just know that the higher defense, the longer they will survive and they don't die, which is completely not true compared to this one, guys. He does have 39 defense, but when you use him on peak, he's freaking dying pretty easy. Maybe because his XP is very low, only 500 compared to Grant's. This guy XP is 7,000. So 19 defense with a very high XP will survive longer. The other guy have 39. That for I don't know 19 stand for. I don't know 19 is 19%. Or 19 is how it worked to XP. To be honest, I don't know. I just know that the higher defense, the stronger that you survive. But you also need XP. So XP is health. The more health you have, the longer you survive. Speed is very important. And someone mentioned, like, why would you need speed? That is that's a very, very weird question, but let me explain. You see this? My Medusa and Ripper have a very high speed compared to my opponents. The moment the opponent pop out, they die immediately. So the higher the speed, that means you are attack first. The moment you have your active skills, they die. So if they die, then they have no hero to attack you back. So their attack will be much less and less. Does that make sense? So speed is number one in this game. You want to be attacked first. Okay, so let's move on with defense break. Defense break is going to be a little bit similar to defense here. So when you play peak, they give you 7 bonus defense break. What does that mean? It's actually minus the 7 defense from your opponent. So for example, Grant, he has 19 defense. If you choose defense break, Grant is only have 10 defense by now. Make sense? Okay. Skill damage is only increased damage for active skills. What is active skills? So let me talking about Freya. So her active skills is right here. Whatever she does, that is the one. Okay. So if you are picking skill damage, 10%, 15, or 20, that will give her damage on active skill. But for normal skill like this, but the passive skill is going to be normal. It doesn't have to be any effective. So I'm going to show you why you're going to pick defense break, skill damage, or crit rate later on for peak. It's going to be another section. But today I'm just want to focus. I'm going to give you, the definition of this and when do you going to use it. Hit rate is good. Hit rate is only good for Wonder because the Wonder team, they always do multiple attack when they do, even though if they are passive. For example, Medusa, her passive skill is hitting 3 people. So the hit rate, if you increase the hit rate, it's gonna give her more chances to hit instead of missing. Make sense? So the higher hit rate, the chances you're gonna hit is very high compared to sometimes when Phoenix have a lot of dodgings and you try to hit her but you keep missing. That is when you should increase your hit rate so you will have a higher chance to hit them. Dodge. Hit rate and dodge is going to be opposite to each other. I mentioned before, if Phoenix have like 70% of dodgings and your hit rate is only 35%, the chance that you're going to hit Phoenix is very 50-50. Makes sense? Because they cancel them out. 30% plus versus 70 is going to be 40%. So the only you cannot hit her Phoenix because dodging for Phoenix is very high. So those two is going to be opposite. Okay, so let's go talk about crit rate and crit damage. This is something that I've been asking people on forum and no one really understands this completely, but I will do my best to explain. And if I'm wrong, please my apologize. And if you know anything about this, please give me some idea so I can fix this. Okay, so crit rate, crit it sounds like critical damage. To be honest, I don't know why people say that critical damage in this game is 1.5. Why not 2? Why only 1.5? So for example, if you do like 100 attack, the critical damage is going to be 1.5, so it's going to become to 150. Make sense? Now in the peak, if you pick 30 chances to for crit rate, that means you will have a 30 chances to do 150 damage. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that what it means. So your average hit will be 1.3 multiplied by 100. Your average hit. You know what? Let's just forget this, and I will make another better example for later on. All you have to know that you will have 30 chances to do 150 damage. That's it. And what is the difference between crit rate and critical damage? Okay, crit damage is something a little bit. It's completely opposite. They're not opposite, but they completely mean differently. For example, if you have a 30 chances, if you pick 30% crit damage and your critical damage does 150, you will adding extra 30% up 100, not 150 guys. It's up 30% up critical damage. Right now I don't know if they actually adding 30% crit damage, that means 30% up critical damage, or 30% regular. So if you does like if your crit damage is only 150, you will add 30%, and this 30% is going to be like 30 point. The total is going to be 180. To be honest, I don't know it's going to be 180 or 30% of 150 is another level. 30% of 150 is how much? It should be 45 points. I'm going to say or 150 plus 45. That should be 195. It's either 180 or 195. I hope that makes sense, because it's also depend on 30%. I don't know 30% is going to be a normal attack or is going to be on the critical damage. So crit damage is going to be 150, 30% either 180 or 195. Hope that makes sense. If not, let me know. Okay, true damage, direct hit without defense or armor. For example, your damage is going to be 100. It's going to be your example. Okay. Now, when you hit Grants and Grants have a very high defense, your total damage to him is only 40%. It's like you only do 40%. Your total damage is only 40% to Grant, because Grant have very high defense. Now, when you pick 50% true damage, that 50% is going to directly go to Grant. Make sense? You will get 50 damage to Grant if you pick 50% true damage. So that 50 is going to be directly to Grant. So the other 50%, you only do 1/2 of the real number. So for example, this is why you do 40. So half of it is going to be 20, and then the other half is going to be 50. Make sense? So the total damage is going to be 50 right here, plus 20 of your damage on your the regular damage is going to be 40. So half of it is going to be 20, and then the other half is going to be 50. So the total damage you do Grant is going to be 70 if you pick true damage. Make sense? Okay. Damage reduction had nothing to do with true damage. And it also had nothing to do with defense break. For example, if you hit Grant and you only do 40 damage, same case as above. Okay. Now, if Grant has another 20% damage reductions, you only does 72 damage. Why is this? Let me explain. So you only do 40 damage to Grant, and you have Grant also have another 20% damage. You only able to hit him 80% of 40. That gives you 32, because because you have to minus out the 20% damage. The 20% damage reduction is around 8 points. Make sense? If you take 20%, you multiply by 40, it's going to be 8 points. And that is going to be subtract for Grant. You only do 32 point damage. Okay. Control resist. This is a resistance to crown control. If you pick like 5% or 10%, it's going to give you higher chances to not get crown control. And that will be it. Is anything else you guys need to know? Tomorrow when picks start, I'm gonna explain a little bit more, and then I'm gonna apply it for the real. And for example, crit rate and crit damage. Why would you want to pick that for assassins? Why is that most important? And what happened if you're picking a mage? Which skill do you pick? Should you take crit damage or skill damage or defense break? They have their own reasons, and I'm going to explain tomorrow. Today, I have to take a wife out for dinner, guys. So that will be it for tonight, and have a great day. Bye-bye.